And we're live. Hey guys, Evil here with RC Carcast, episode 18.2. Since episode 18 was delayed a little bit due to some family
we got
difficulties. Everyone's like, let me watch it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, take two. We're going to try episode 18 again. So, here with Harley, Howard, and John. What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Cool guy in the back.
Oops, I have it focused on me. Sorry about that.
Right.
There we go. Oops.
So, well, it was an interesting delayed week. You know, at least we had lots to talk about now that we're back.
So how was the trip to Colombia?
Colombia went well. It was hot.
We visited a tick farm while we were out there.
So what was the name of this event?
Trailmaster Challenge.
And this was hosted by Holmes Hobbies, right?
Correct. So second time that he's had that, and it went pretty well. So that was a good time. It was it was warm. Howard was just one big ball of sweat.
I almost put on a scorecard when I got back.
Oh God, I was the one doing all of the scoring and all. I didn't run. I just ran everything. And Howard came back and he gave me this washcloth of a piece of paper. Oh, it was just. It was
a little moist.
Oh, it was
beyond moist.
Yeah, it was wet. It was just a wet piece of paper.
It was just filled with Howard sweat.
Oh yeah, I mean it was transparent basically.
But it was a very important one. It ended up being second place.
Yep, Howard did get second, and he did get best looking 1.9.
Did you win anything?
No. Josh put the deal on. You think he'd have trophies or plaques or anything like that?
I was going to do that, but I ended up being very busy.
He figured since he wasn't going to run, he didn't have a chance to get them. Why would he spend the money on the trophies?
Anyway.
So there were no plaques or anything?
No.
No, I didn't get.
I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna get one of his and like scratch his name out, put mine on it.
Yes.
There's a few around here.
Yeah, there's a stack. Right
I gotta do this one though. Like this one, I'll have to change the fifth since it's fifth place.
There's a first place right behind it. Same event. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, that's a bummer. You place an event, and you got no souvenir or anything to remember.
You're welcome.
So I guess ticks were thick.
Yes.
Ticks were thick. For some people. John was fine. John ended up. How many did you have?
2.
John had 2.
The problem we found is don't wear jeans. If you wear shorts, they're fine. You wear jeans and you're got ticks everywhere. I probably had a total of 30 ticks on me.
Holy crap! Did any of them stick?
Yeah. John wore shorts and barely any.
They're
I
bad.
had one tick for every White Castle I ate.
Yeah.
You ate 30 hamburgers?
Probably pretty close to that.
Yeah.
I made a couple trips.
Evidently. Ticks are a bigger fan of the white meat than the dark meat, I guess. So it was. But yeah, Howard was texting me constantly while I was out setting up things on the course at 9 a.m. or actually 8:30. Hey, you gonna bring back some White Castle? I'm like, I'm not in town. I'm out on the course setting. I mean, 8:30. He was ready for White Castle.
I was going to go on the way. And then I got the bad news. We're exiting before Columbia.
Yeah, I was like,
damn it!
We don't even get to Columbia.
We're like 7 miles from White Castle.
Oh no, we couldn't have that. We backtracked further than that.
Yeah, it was quite the issue.
I did read a Facebook post the other day that said White Castle was coming back to KC. I don't know if that's true
I
or
was
not.
tagged in a very similar post.
But did you click on it?
No.
That is funny. I didn't realize it did that.
I clicked on it. It's a joke, and it says, "Ha ha, you've been pranked."
It was aimed specifically at Howard.
But the person that sent it to me wasn't even smart enough to click on it and didn't even know that it was a joke.
I thought White Castle was a joke in general. I didn't even think they really sold hamburgers.
Oh,
They've even got some delicious new chicken sandwiches.
Oh, I wouldn't call them a sandwich.
oh my God, I can't imagine what their chicken is.
It's like a chicken nugget on a dinner roll.
The chicken nugget is like a triple decker White Castle. It's, I mean, oh.
Wonderful.
So,
Anyway,
good
enough berating Howard.
yeah.
So the looming elephant in the room, right?
Yeah, the Axial Yeti.
Did you get one, Yeti?
I don't have one yet.
You don't have one Yeti?
I'm gonna.
Not Yeti.
So for those who don't know, tell everybody what an Axial Yeti is.
Oh yeah. If you haven't been on the internet for the last week, Axial released, or it was released through various channels. Axial hasn't actually put out their official press release on it yet, but Axial Yeti is a IFS, or independent front suspension, solid rear axle car. It's basically what everybody had been asking for lately. The front suspension is donated from the XO for the majority of it. They did put a new steering knuckle on it to better clear 2.2 tire or wheels. The front steering has been re-engineered. I don't know exactly how all of that has been done yet, but you can see from some of the pictures it looks like that is a different setup now. That differs quite a bit from the previous one that was in the XO, which wasn't as.
So is it basically XO in the front, Wraith in the back?
For the most part, they did change some things on the front XO on the front. As far as how it all is held together and things like that, things that they learned from the original XO design, it appears. So that's good. They did put in a shock-absorbing front bumper, a la, Slash.
One that doesn't break when it hits the ground?
Yeah. So.
Did they put a halon system on it?
I'm gonna have to be real careful in the first run. I'm not taking it. Actually, I should take it to that skate park first, just to pull vengeance.
To exercise any demons.
Yes, exactly.
I got some lipos you can use.
Yeah.
Did you get one out of that helicopter that you crashed, the quadcopter? Got the torn plastic on it?
Yeah.
I got the one that my dog chew up. We'll use that one. My dog chewed up.
I think I'm going to run only nickel metal in it for at least a month. It's got some cool stuff, and it's like you said, it isn't a Wraith axle in the rear. However, it's running a trailing arm suspension, which has been popular, and a lot of people have been asking for that. Very similar to the twin hammers as far as that goes. However, it does look like it's ready for a dual rear shock setup right out of the box. It's got a cage on it that makes you kind of think Wraith as far as plastic molded cage. However, you pull two body clips in the front shock tower, and the whole thing hinges up and gives you access to the whole thing underneath.
What a godsend after working on a Wraith.
Oh, Wraiths are a piece of cake. Compared to like the XO or the twin hammers.
Yeah, that's true.
What it's really easy. The Wraith is simple. With the skid plate, you pop out a few bolts, and that whole skid plate drops out, and you have a whole car. So.
They did add a lot of cool scale features to it. The little fuel cell, the side exhaust.
Right. The fuel cell is labeled as a weight box. I think to help you balance the car to your liking as far as how it flies. I'm not sure the need for it, or we'll see exactly how they expect you to weight it. If they have something in mind, if they, put sand in the back, I don't know. But
so are the shocks basically like the XR10 shock, the aluminum body?
They're definitely different than the XR10. It's an aluminum shock body, but it is definitely not the same one that we've seen, at least as far as at the bare minimum, the coating. The coating is different. So we'll see if there's any other changes that came along with that. And I mean, the other huge feature that it is new is it has a 2-speed transmission.
That'll be interesting.
That's obviously completely new from Axial. It is not a functional 2-speed transmission out of the box, though.
Really?
It is locked in high gear because it is coming with a 2-channel radio. So, personally, I don't like 2-speed transmissions. I think they're unnecessary with good brushless systems. Now, it comes with an uncensored 4-pole 3150 motor. So I don't think that. I mean, I think that will be good for guys wanting to bash it, or possibly even U4 stuff. But in general, I still think that the U4 racing will want a censored brushless motor, because there is some rock crawling in the U4, and I don't see that uncensored 4-pole motor will handle that very well.
Is part of your issue with the 2-speed the fact that you can't get the Futaba radio program correctly?
No. Not in the slightest.
So I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see how well that transmission holds up to the big power plants.
Right. It comes with steel gears inside, which is nice.
Huh.
That's a big change from any of the stock Axial transmissions we've seen so far.
So is it a Castle-based brushless system? Is that why it's sensorless?
Yep, Castle-based. Stripped down Sidewinder 3 waterproof ESC, basically. So 3S capable. All the videos that we've seen it running so far are on 3S. I guess the only videos that have been released of it are the Big Squid video and the RC Crawler video.
The RC Crawler one was pretty entertaining.
The RC Crawler one was definitely a better video.
They were both shot the same day at the same place, though.
Were they?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
That was right before I went to California. That all was shot because they shot all that when Big Squid went and visited Axial. So. Right,
I do remember the pictures that got leaked at that time of not showing anything, but I mean, John definitely did a much better job on the video than the Big Squid guys, but production value wise. But either way, good videos showing just how the truck handled. It's always tough to judge durability from a video based on you don't know what
I'm sure it'll be all right. If it has an open front diff. That locker in the back might take some punishment, but is it using the? No, it's not. It's got a transmission. It's not using the Exo center diff.
What's that?
It's not using the Exoterra center diff, huh?
No, it's like you're alluding to, locked in the center, locked in the rear, open in the front. That rear locker, basically, at this point, we can only assume it's the standard Iron Cross Axial locker, which, I know that doesn't last too long with brushless power. From previous experience, you're able to bust the little ears off on that locker and spin it inside that diff cup pretty easily. So.
Yeah, and that's a pretty beefy brushless system that's in it. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that 4-pole system will blow that rear locker out pretty quickly. And I did order I ordered a part for my non-existent Yeti already. Blue Monkey RC came out with this new spool for the front end.
You ordered something for the Yeti already?
Yes, I did. But it's a solid spool that has the outdrives, milled into it, so that you can run an MIP system on it right away. So I've got the modified Slash, and it's a set of Slash CVD, 4x4 Slash front CVDs with a set of I think it's the male side from a SCX10 drive shaft set or AX10 drive shaft set.
Is it dog bone in the front stock?
Stock it is, and that was the one thing that John from Badger from Axial had said that after driving it that day, at the end of the day that the front drive or dog bone had popped out a couple of times. So
yeah, I think the EXO suffered from that a little bit too.
But and at the same time, as soon as you locked it, I don't think those dog bones would stand up for too long.
The massive jumps they were taking that thing off of, though, it wouldn't surprise me to come away with some kind of damage.
They were really hucking that thing up in the air.
It was super high. Cool video, though. You guys should check it out if you haven't. Lots of slow motion. You get to see that suspension really working and stuff. What do you think scale-wise about it? Do you think the 2.2s look a little bit big on it to me? I'm not super up on Ultra 4, but they look a little bit big. Do you think it'll look better on 1.9s?
I mean, I guess proportionally, I don't think you could put 1.9s on that car and it would look right.
Pretty wide.
It would be a huge issue. A lot of guys, of course, you can't make anyone happy on the internet. So a lot of guys, were already complaining about the 2.2s and the width. So I'm sure we'll see somebody try and put a narrower front end on it, and then obviously I'm sure they'll try and throw an AS or SCX10 rear axle under it. And then of course somebody will solid axle it just because whatever. But
because axials are like Legos and people like to put them together in various ways.
I mean, and I've had a lot of ideas that are ridiculous, but I think that trying to throw a solid axle under the front of that will be kind of a ridiculous idea just because it's a plastic tub chassis, and then the cage. Well, is the cage that like it says it hinges, so it's not a structural cage. It's basically the body. Four pins and the whole quote-unquote cage or body comes off, basically.
It's a funny car, man.
I'm glad they designed it that way, though.
And for functionality, I think, at the same time, I don't know, I kind of like those. I like the structural functional cages, but it will make it easy to work on. So that will be nice. Did you see that the receiver box? Did you see the details on it?
No.
You access it from the belly of the car.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Now I think about it.
When you want to go to a different model from top of radio, you can change the behaviors. My 4PL and my 4PK and.
A one radio will run all of those receivers. John, beer? Yeah, kind of a fancy one.
You want a fancy one?
So that is interesting. I kind of liked that feature, and it looks like they did that for that whole reason of wanting it to be easily accessible. Like the body flipping. And while you aren't necessarily accessing your radio box all that often, it's very tight up there. The servos. The servo sits right in front of. Well, I guess it sits on the right side towards the front. The left side is pretty much completely taken up by the transmission and motor, and then with how the links are and the battery plate, all that kind of stuff, there really wasn't a whole lot of room for more, top-down real estate. So they stuck it underneath of the battery tray, and you get to it from the bottom. It looks like you bolted on with 4 bolts, so it getting ripped off really doesn't look like much of a concern. But
I assume it's a waterproof radio box.
Yeah, it's got a rubber seal around the lid, so waterproof. The whole truck is actually, I think, advertised as waterproof. It's running the Tactic servo, like we've seen recently in the CRC and the Deadbolt SCX10. Again, another full waterproof one from them. Castle motor ESC system, so typical waterproof there as of late.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to have one.
Definitely. I don't think I'll be throwing mine up in the air like they were. The big chicken. Maybe at the skate park. You know, it's we'll see how that goes. But Aaron, if you're ready to go, I'll meet you at the skate park for the first run.
Oh yeah, we'll be going back.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my Exoterra out there.
They were running a 5,000 3S in that car in all the videos, so it's definitely got room for a fairly good sized pack. So that'll be, that'll be nice for that type of thing. That's I don't know. It'll just be an interesting car to run. But,
I can't wait to drive yours.
John, you're gonna have one. You were gonna build. Well, I was building that Rexo, and then you were looking at building one.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely seems to. Hopefully, we didn't lose Aaron. He's just muted, but hopefully we don't.
I had to get my daughter off the drum set. She was gonna solo for you guys.
You're not standing there back like Flea, is she in her underwear, beating on the drums?
So, yeah, it's up now.
She said, "Hi, Howard."
Yeah.
Hi,
Looking at you, Howard.
We don't have any video, so we can't see. So she is free to drop her pants tonight, and we will not burst out in laughter. Nobody will ever know. But anyway, yeah. So that's all we know on that truck until it gets released, I suppose.
Did you see my post I stuck up on the RC CarCast page with the comparison with the Yeti bicycle and the Yeti Axial Yeti?
With the color scheme?
It was clear to me that Brandon picked out that color scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Brandon being the big mountain biker, the Yeti name and the color of that bike. Yeah, that made sense. Now, there has been a little bit of criticism on the Yeti name choice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's not the most grabbing name, I guess, but I really don't care what they're named. Wraith was kind of an odd one anyway. So.
You like SCX10 better?
Yeah.
Bolt.
Everyone was calling the Wraith a Wrath when it first came out.
Including Jerry. I think he still calls it that.
Yeah, I know.
Who does?
Jerry. He was stuck on Wrath for a long time. All of them were Wrath.
I think he typoed like a chassis that he built or something, and then he just went with it.
Yeah. I think
he's like, I meant to do that.
Yes, I think he just had it in his brain as Wrath, and then that's just how he started typing it. But it, Jerry's got a lot of experience with the IFS cars already.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be all over the Yeti. Well, or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just stick with what he already has and save his money.
What's it weigh? I'm just curious how light it is.
43 pounds.
43?
43.
That's what I had for 41, so we're gotta be right in there somewhere. But
I think it'll do some damage.
yeah, that's I don't know. I wonder. There is a lot of. It's mostly plastic.
What's a Rex or the Exo weigh? And what's a Wraith weigh? Add both of them together, divide it in half, and add a pound.
No, I don't think so because that Exo, the thick aluminum chassis plate. This one has got no aluminum really at all.
Plastic fantastic.
Yeah, all of the tie rods and all that kind of stuff on this one are, Traxxas style, they're like the cheap Traxxas style, but the molded one-piece ball cup type deal.
Hey Josh, look, this is what they look like when they're not melted.
Good thing I can't see it. I have one here too. It just never got.
It just looks like it got stripped down. in the hood somewhere.
It's
There's
still
no
a cool
parts
car.
left.
I dig it.
I got another one in on the trade, and I just never used it. So
Let's light it on fire and jump it over something.
but yeah, I mean it's all plastic on it, which
Probably why I can take a beating.
it all just moves.
Moves and flexes.
It'll you know.
I don't know. It looks like it's got lots of travel. It looks like it stays really composed. I'm betting it'll be a lot of fun to drive right out of the box.
It's got the sway bars on it in the rear. Rear only, I believe. I haven't seen anything about the front sway bar, but it's a big, long arm, desert truck style sway bar. So when it jumps, you can see it. That rear suspension drops way out, and you can see the links on those sway bars dropping down. And it looks like the sway bar it's a double shear mount at the end, but it also looks like it's got kind of a keyed in limiter, so that the axle will only drop out so far, almost as if the shocks have more travel, but that's not what's limiting them. So I kind of wonder about how that will hold up in the in tumbles and things like that, if it'll end up kind of stretching out or stripping the sway bar engagement on those. So
I don't know. It's cool. I think they got a winner. Doug was telling me that Big Squid was like having all kinds of traffic records when that thing got announced. So people are going to be all over it. It's like the first big release they've had since the Wraith.
yeah,
I think that people are super excited about. So I'm betting it'll be a hit.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping it will as well. We've got big hopes for what they'll have coming out for it as far as option parts, as well as like people like VP, what they'll come out with. And
that's the cool thing, though. A lot of it will already be out.
Yeah, I mean Wraith and Exoterra parts. Exoterra, yeah.
They just got to reprint the labels.
The new rear trailing arms, I think VP already has ready to go. But there'll be plenty of new things, especially once we get them in our hands and see what we want to do to them.
There'll be light bars and all kinds of fun scale stuff coming for it too.
Oh yeah, like Howard was saying, they integrated some pretty neat little scale pieces already. So I'm looking forward to it. I was talking to Brandon a little bit this week, and he seems pretty excited for the truck. So that's
I'd like to know how many they're releasing on the first batch.
Now, I know what you mean, and now being that this will be the first big release really since they've been under the umbrella of Hobbyco. Now, the Exoterra, they had just become bought out by Hobbyco, so Hobbyco didn't really have the pockets in the initial order, I don't think. So this one, I'm sure Hobbyco could bankroll in a larger initial order if needed. If Axial didn't have it to go right away. So that could be really nice to keep to have a nicer stock status on that first initial shipment. Because we've seen the Wraith was like that, wasn't it? Like as soon as it came out, it was tough to get them at the very first.
Yeah, it was quite a while getting them.
So it's RTR. Are they all coming with that blue and white paint scheme?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I don't mind the paint scheme. I mean,
you don't mind the paint scheme, but it'll be a week before you get a skin made for it.
If it takes a week, I'll be pissed.
You got Neil on the phone yet? Coming over!
The day it comes, I'll come here, I'll shoot a video, and I'll drive to his house and try and get the wrap done. Hopefully have it in 2 days.
It's cool. I like everything about it. The only bad thing I can say is I wish it would have 3-channel radio. I was looking forward to seeing an updated electronics package, but
cool. At the same time, you know that those 3-channel radio, you know, a 2-speed transmission, it takes a radio that you can really dial the endpoints in on. And I mean, I'm sure there is. I don't know. Do the new Traxxas radios have adjustable endpoints on all channels?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I like about everything about it, but I don't really care for the color of the tires. Where they lost it.
Now, something I haven't, I guess, looked into or seen for sure is if the BFGs that come on it are the S40 or the R35 compound.
Is this the same tire that's on like the Poison Spider Wraith? It looks like it.
Right, and the RTR version comes with that harder S40 compound, and that stuff's pretty hard. That's not a very good performing tire as far as, you know, in that compound. I do like
for kids are going to be bashing the thing around parking lots and jumping curbs and all that stuff. It's
right. It makes better sense for that, but the way it was ballooning out at speed, it makes me almost wonder if it is. So, but either way, the only cool thing about that tire and that compound is the noise it makes on pavement. Those stock RTR tires from Axial, man, if you get those things on pavement, you're driving around, they just howl. Just like a full size, but other than that, those tires need to go pretty quickly. And I was one thing that it also has is it's got new bead locks that are just the exact same basically as the trail ready bead locks, except a Walker Evans pattern. But hopefully they changed it so that it holds a bead with those BFGs.
I'm surprised it's not a glue-on with it being a go-fast vehicle. I'm surprised they went with a physical bead lock.
I know, so hopefully it holds. Because I can only imagine one of those tires coming off at speed like that if it
just sling it right off there.
Oh yeah.
That'll give you something to do while you're waiting for your battery to charge. You can remount your tires.
So yeah, the scale trophy truck realism, changing tires constantly. So we'll see on that part. That's got me kind of worried. It also still has the pin drive that the Poison Spider Wraith had, where it has no aluminum hex.
Oh.
Now I am told that those hubs have been redesigned though, that they have a tighter tolerance. So if you keep the wheel nuts tight, they're supposed to stand up. So,
I still see those pins just digging in there until they get loose. And
yeah, that was the problem I had, and my problem wasn't that it dug in there, and then I took the wheel nut off to remount the tire that was falling off, and I couldn't get the wheel off. And that pin had buried itself underneath of the plastic, and so I had to like turn it back a quarter turn to get it to pop back out and then pull it off. So.
And pretty soon you're pulling the throttle and the thing's just sitting there making noise or something.
All right.
It was just melting plastic.
It was odd, but worst case scenario, you can mount up VP SLW hubs right to their stock wheels and add some 12mm hexes, and you're off.
Very cool. This has been the Yeti edition of RC Fest.
We can switch to the rally cars. Did you get yours all ready to go?
Yeah.
I took it out of the box, charged up the battery.
You shot a video.
I did shoot a video.
That was new.
Just a little, hey, check this out kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm excited to race them.
Me too.
Are we still planning on doing a podcast / race trash talk session?
We could plan next Tuesday. I know 2 Tuesdays in a row would be awfully odd for us, but
Trying to catch up for the slacking.
So I have not installed the bearings on mine yet.
I haven't either.
I have put the new shocks on them.
Does that make a difference? It's pretty boingy.
I haven't driven it since I did that, but
I've got about 30 seconds for the drive time in mind.
So I got the green one. Josh got orange. Howard got what color?
Blue.
And what did John get?
Red.
All right.
So, now I did see in your video, Aaron, and I will comment on this, even though I should just let it die. But the Futaba radios will not initiate with the Latrax ESC.
What?
Dumbest fucking thing in the world. They won't work with those ESCs. And
I sat there and watched him for like 45 minutes, like a monkey trying to get into a jar of corn, a jar of jelly.
You did all the tricks, reverse the channel, and
everything. And
I sit there, God darn, good, I can't believe this. Yeah, I guarantee you about it.
I was so goddamn mad, and I Googled it, and of course, in Traxxas forums,
Spectrum bound to it.
Traxxas forums pop up. Why can't I get my top radio to bind to my Latrax?
Wait a minute, can I bind straight to the receiver that's in it?
No.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Spectrum will bind to the will program the speed control.
Of course it will. It's JR.
Of course, yeah, because it's they're on the same level as my first RC play school rally car. Of course, the Spectrum would.
Just, I know no, you can't do that either. So say you can just direct servo connection to it and just follow it around with a cord.
Well, he was already ready to put
I was going to put an ESC in it just so I can use my goddamn radio.
I told him that was cheating.
There's always that, yeah.
Howard was giving me shit saying that it was cheating. I was like, I'm not changing the motor. The motor's still the same.
We're trying to keep them equal, cheap, fun.
I'm going to pull that baby out of there and rewind it.
I already have a brushless here.
Yeah,
and he's already got
Josh will take it down to John and have him redo it. I need to squeak every power out of this.
Yeah, I did have to replace my servo already, Aaron.
Yeah, I heard you. Well, yeah, your experience was when I pulled it out of the box, I'm like, I am not turning this wheel.
I grabbed it, I turned the wheels, and went.
I'm sitting there listening to him. Pop!
He's like, did you break it already? I said, no. I put a battery in it, and I tried to turn it, and it didn't turn. The stupid gear in the top of the servo, it's got this little tiny, teeny, tiny little goddamn gear. It's like a 4-tooth plastic gear on top of it, and it just snapped it right in half, which to me sounds like a terrible design. But it
could have been your little monkey fingers.
I
will turn the wheels.
Yeah, it was a Lenny moment, but
it's $100 vehicle. It's gonna have top-notch stuff in it.
Howard and I drove to Hobbytown right afterwards, and I was like, I'll go buy a new servo, whatever. We get there, and they didn't have the gear set because the gear set's like $4, but they did have basically the same servo in a no, they had the actual servo.
They had that one.
Yeah, they had the servo, but it was like $28.
What the hell?
I know, and I was like,
that's like a quarter of the cost of the vehicle.
I'm like, there's no way I'm spending $28 on this thing. They didn't have any gear sets, so
you get a high tech for like $20.
You can get an
HS55 for like $10.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was just like, I've got the Futaba servo here. It was a little bit larger, so I did have to cut the chassis.
But he cut that. He's printing a servo strap. He's supposed to be helping get some stuff done, and he spends like 4 hours dicking with his little rally car. We drive all the way to Hobbytown. Yeah. He buys nothing, and it cost me $18 for a servo saver that I didn't necessarily need. Or a servo horn.
Servo horn, yeah.
$18 servo horn?
And he buys nothing.
It's like, yeah, never mind, I didn't need anything. Howard's spending $20. It's okay, I did buy him a Quick Trip hot dog afterwards. that I think he had 8 before I had fully paid. Like, we were in line. She was ringing it up. By the time I gave her my card, he was finished with his hot dog. Jesus. Well, actually, that was after he was harassing her about her piercings.
Was it?
Remember, she had her little
yeah. She had her chest pierced,
so
and not boobs, just her skin.
Yeah, and Howard's like asking her about it, and her boss is standing there. She's like, "Shh," like covering up. Like, stop creeping me out, old man.
You were that much younger.
But anyway, so yeah, ready to race these things?
I am. I think I'm going to spank you guys.
Probably.
We're going racing after. But
After he spanks us?
Yes.
Isn't that the prize?
Yeah.
We get spanked. Spank me again, big boy.
Hi, Ellie.
Looking for a morning.
You heard about spanking.
Not again.
Are we going to build ramps for him?
That's what I was just getting ready to ask. What are we going to do for... We should just race them on the bare concrete.
Oh, Jesus. We need,
We
like...
need a little sheet metal.
Sheet metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sheet metal we can bend a couple different... It's a little ramp.
Yeah. Like just a couple of... well, I need a wide track.
Yeah.
The...
We're gonna set yours up. We're gonna turn yours into a slot car. That way you can keep it on the track.
Right.
I have some corrugated tube or something we can just cut and slide underneath there to make the track have some...
Oh, that's a good idea. Cut in half, just make a hump in the track.
Yep.
Your lady lumps.
So
Do something fun like let people bet on who's going to win or something.
Yes. Turn this into an enterprise.
Josh will be trying to take a dive. I suck that bad.
And they're back. We lost you for a second there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The so if we get everything going, next Tuesday would be a good time. John, are you free?
A little time to set up a racetrack.
How full is your barn?
There's no tractor in it right now, so just have to push the Mustang out because it doesn't have a ignition in it right now. Back the truck out and that's it. Sweep it out.
Let's bring a couple leaf blowers and open both doors.
The track's pretty much already built. You just got to reassemble it.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, that's good. At least we know you haven't been practicing.
What you saw in that video was the extent of my driving practice with it.
That's good. Now, I did find the lipos that fit perfectly.
There.
So, that
Did you order us some?
I had them here already. I did notice that in your video you said 6-cell nickel metal, and I believe it's a 5-cell. So.
It was nice that Josh was able to drive it when he first got his going, because he got it set into trainer mode, so it was only half speed, so he was able to control it pretty well then.
You guys dropped out there for like 30 seconds.
Sorry. We were just talking about how I thought this thing was so slow on a 2-cell lipo. I thought it should be so much faster. Turns out I had it in training mode.
I'm going to put mine on 3S. I have some 800 milliamp 3S.
we looked at that.
I guess they're cheap to replace when you burn them up. Get a couple extras for spare parts.
I think we get 2 weeks at the stock level, and then it goes to
Open
class. 8,000 kV brushless systems.
Yeah, we dropped you guys again. Keep
I don't know.
losing you.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're just not blacking out?
Could be on my end, but
You're over there just like passing out at the computer for a minute.
no, you actually disappear from the window.
I don't know.
Look down in front of you, see if there's any drool.
Nope.
It's so this week. Are you going to go comping this weekend, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and run the Sportsman.
Oh yeah, that's you guys are saying.
I got a little more work to do, but it'll be ready.
Does anyone else have a Sportsman besides Sam?
I do.
John's got one. Jerry's got a couple.
I will not be there again.
He's
Where are
in-
you going?
I will be down at the lake. So.
Must be rough.
1%er. My brother's in town. Will be in town from San Francisco.
Bring some rice-a-roni.
Pride thing was going on out there.
What?
Rice-a-roni is a San Francisco treat.
Awesome.
Jesus.
What does that even mean?
All right, we keep dropping out, so let's go
All
ahead.
right.
Let's go ahead and cut this one.
Howard's talking about rice-a-roni over here, so it's okay anyway.
I don't want to hear him sing that jingle.
I'm just ready to go eat some now.
Always.
Maybe they got White Castle flavored rice-a-roni.
There you go.
Go get some in the frozen section at Price Chopper.
They're not as good.
There's no way that it could be any worse. All right.
I like it that Chris Dean was teasing me so bad about it, and then he wanted me to bring him back 4 cheeseburgers.
right?
All right, so for next time, we're going to plan on having a race or something. So we'll have to think before then. Somehow we can get some crowd participation going on or something. Rig up some cameras or something.
Yep. Well, we'll see who can pick the winning order. How exactly we'll all finish here.
John's already got bearings done in his, I think, right?
John's the only one that's got him in so far.
Damn it! I did install my shocks. I have not installed the bearings or the drive shafts. I did. Did you buy the axle shafts, Aaron? He can't hear us. Okay, bye, Aaron.
Yeah, it keeps dropping it out. All right, that's it for this time, guys. We will catch you next time, hopefully, for some, what is it, 124th scale?
18.
18th scale.
18th scale. For some 18th scale rally racing. I'm sure it'll be a barrel of laughs. So.
Yes. All right.
Anyway, we'll call it good at that. Hey, guys, if you have not, head out to the RC CarCast Facebook page and give us a like. Josh has like 5,000 viewers, so maybe if we can get just a couple of those guys over there, we might be able to get above 500.
He won't advertise the CarCast on his
I
page.
do all the time.
Yep, and look up Howler Custom RC on Facebook, give him a like, and find Evil Villain RC on YouTube and subscribe.
Wave at John while you go by as he's mowing. Or cleaning the pool now.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
All right. See you later. I don't think he's gone. He should be there.
Aaron?
It's still